All right, welcome to the Hank Haney Podcast, recording today on nofilter.net. Hope everybody finds me on nofilter.net because it is a absolutely fantastic site. It is a great place to be. I love the title, No Filter, No Filter. That's what this is all about, Hank Haney Podcast. All right, today I'm going to talk about some of the news that's happening with the PGA Tour and LIV. I can't keep track of what's going on. I don't know if anybody can. It's just you hear all these reports. So anyway, here's what I'm thinking. First off, I think the PGA Tour and the Public Investment Fund, especially the PGA Tour, like they need to get this deal done. They need to figure out how to get this done. I'm listening to Jordan Spieth. And he's telling me, he's telling me I'm watching on the Twitter X, and he's telling me that they don't need it. They don't need Public Investment Fund. Now they got SSG. And then I saw this thing yesterday where they said the SSG, they're going to take the SSG money, all that SSG money that they're going to get, like $1.5 billion. And they sent out some memo. And the memo said that they are going to spend like something like $900 and something million, and they're going to give it to like a certain amount of players. Like 36 players are getting 80% of the money. I mean, it's like it's a make good. Like they're trying to make it good for these guys that didn't leave and go to LIV. Now, listen, I understand they sold these guys a bill of goods. They told them not to leave. They basically are buying them all off is what happened. I mean, by giving them all this money, and they were paying guys under the table. Everybody knows it. Everybody knew it. Everybody knows who they paid under the table because they're the guys that they wanted to stay and the guys that they couldn't afford to lose. They couldn't really afford to lose anybody, to be honest with you. But to me, they need this more than they need anything. They need to get this thing settled, because if you look at the PGA Tour and you look at the start that they have to the year, I mean, the start that they have to the year so far, I mean, this is something else. I hate to be this blunt and callous about it, but my goodness gracious sakes alive. I mean, you got the Tournament of Champions, Century Tournament Champions. Chris Kirk wins. Now, he's a nice guy. Great story, coming back from alcoholism. It's phenomenal. I love it. But that's your Tournament of Champions. That's what you get. He's your winner. You got, then you followed up with the Sony. Okay, you got a Grayson Murray. You got a great, what most people wouldn't know if they saw him and walking down the street. If they were golfers and they saw him walking down the street, go to Top Golf, interview 100 people at Top Golf. Ask them how many people know who Grayson Murray is. Nobody know who he was. Wouldn't know him. Then you got the Nick Dunlap, wins the American Express. Great story. College player, first college player to win since 1991 when Phil Mickelson won his amateur. And then I gotta listen to everybody, the corrupt golf media tell you that it's so hard to win on the PGA Tour. And the players just repeat this over. It's so hard to win on the PGA Tour that an amateur just did it. That's how hard it is to win it. It's so hard to win on the tour that Grayson Murray just did it. It's so hard to win on the tour that Chris Kirk just did it. Then you got the Farmers. I'm looking at my note. You got the Farmers Insurance Classic. This used to be Tiger won this tournament every year they played it. It seemed like, and now this year's champion, and John Rahm won it. John Rahm wins at Torrey Pines, but who wins this year? Matthew Pavon. Wouldn't know him from the Man in the Moon. Maybe I should know him. I mean, I'm talking about golf. I mean, maybe he's a household name. He almost won again. He almost won the next week. He almost won at AT&T, but Wyndham Clark won at AT&T. And Wyndham Clark, who was negotiating with the LIV up until the minute it seems like he teed off at the AT&T, And then he gets on the AT&T and he wins on a rain shortened deal. I mean, this is a disaster. This turn, no cut, no raise the purse to 20 million at the AT&T, no cut, short field, $20 million to the winner, 54 holes because it got delayed. And guess who gets all the World Golf Ranking points? They do. They get all the World Golf. Like what happened? I mean, I thought no cut can't have world ranking points. I thought short field can't have no ranking points. I thought 54 holes can't have no ranking points. It's just the hypocrisy is incredible. And so Wyndham Clark negotiates with LIV, asks for 100 million, only offer him 50. And then next thing you know, he decides the PGA Tour is a better place for him, and in his quote unquote for his legacy, for his leg. I hate to say this, but if you're going to call the LIV an exhibition and say the wins are meaningless, I mean, come on. I mean, what is winning on the PGA Tour worth now? I mean, even Rory McIlroy said it's not winning. Rory McIlroy, the guy who hates LIV, hated LIV. He's done a flipper flopper, but he hates LIV, and even Rory says that winning on the PGA Tour now is not what it was. So they got 54 holes rained out. That tournament used to be an iconic tournament. The AT&T Pebble Beach Pro. Mark O'Meara won that tournament like 5 times. Love that tournament. The sponsors love that tournament. The celebrities love that tournament. The wealthy businessmen love that tournament. They used to pay, I don't know what they paid, $25, $50, something like that, $1,000 to $50,000, something like that. They 25,000. I don't know. Then they had to donate something else. I mean, they spent a lot of money supporting the charities. They had a 2-day pro-am. Where's the money going to come from for $20 million purse and all the money that used to be raised from charity for all those pro-am partners? They used to play 3 golf courses, pro-am partners out the kazoo, biggest field on the tour. I don't know how they had so many players they couldn't even fill the field. Half the time they're dipping down into these lists that they didn't even know existed to get the field fill. But they were selling out those spots because people wanted to play there, and they raised so much money for charity. Now that's gone. I mean, now they go to Phoenix, and the ratings are horrible. I mean, like they talk about LIV's ratings. LIV has a lot of people. I'm not saying they got a lot of people watching, but they got a lot of people watching online on their app. They got people watching that way. They tell you the television rating on, whatever that station is they're on, CW or whatever, and it's nothing. I get it, but they're on stations all over the world. So the corrupt golf media will tell you that they're not doing any good, but let's just examine the PGA Tour's ratings. Oh my God, it's going from bad to worse. And now this week they're at Phoenix, which is my favorite tournament on the PGA Tour. Great tournament, phenomenal tournament. Love the Phoenix Open. Waste Management Phoenix Open, as good as it gets, raising money for charity. But I think number one tournament on the PGA Tour in my mind because of the amount of money they raise for charity. The Thunderbirds do an incredible job running that tournament. It's phenomenal. But talk about bad luck. It's like 52 degrees and raining like it never rains in Phoenix. Lived there for 12 years, never rains. Next week it'll be 72 degrees every day and sunny. It's sunny 320 days a year, and they've had like 5 days in a row of clouds, and it's like 54 degrees or 44 degrees when they tee off. It's a disaster. And like when it rains, it pours. And anyway, they have got to figure that they may have enough money to be like brand new for a minute, but I gotta think to myself that all these sports owners, this SSG that invested this money, I gotta think that those guys are gonna somewhere they want to return. They're gonna want to return on their investment. They're just not giving all this money out. So Rory and Spieth and Tiger and Scotty Scheffler and there isn't much else left, to be honest with you. Schauffele, maybe Cantley. I mean, come on. They're giving out all this money just so those guys won't jump over to LIV. I just don't see it. I mean, they have the whole thing needs to be figured out. The whole thing needs to be restructured, and they need this public investment fund because they have to unite golf. Golf has to be united. It cannot go on like it is. And if it does keep going on like it is, LIV is going to win. They got the pockets, they got the money, they can do whatever they want. If you don't unite with them and come up with a plan and make it so that it's all one, golf is all one, and all these players that aren't qualified for the major championships because of this official world golf rankings, that's just another travesty. They got to get it all figured out, and they got to, you know what they need to do? They got to figure it out fast. A lot faster than they think they got to figure it out. They got to get this thing figured out. Now, I listened to Spieth, and he's saying, hey, we don't really need those guys. And then I listened to, and of course the Krupp Golf media is interviewing. Well, do you want those guys to come back? And of course they're saying no. And Justin Thomas is saying no, and Spieth's saying no, and Ricky Fowler's saying no. Of course they are. They all turn. What do you think they're going to say? What do you think they're going to say? The Krupp Golf media asks these guys what their opinion is. What do you think their opinion is? What would your opinion be if you turned down $100 million? If you turned down $100 million, you'd want. So are they thinking of what's best for the PGA Tour? No, Rory is. Rory says they should be able to come back. Why is Rory saying that? Because Rory got paid. Rory got paid. See, Rory got paid. He didn't lose all the money these other guys lost. They dished him a workday contract. Who knows what they paid him under the table? They did. They made it right for him, and he realizes that this whole thing is not good. He realizes it's not good. So now he's saying, hey, we got to let these guys play. We got to unite golf. And Rory was the guy that was totally against everything, hated everything. And, LIV can't stand it. Hope they go away. This and that. Now all of a sudden he's like, he looks like he's sitting on the fence. Wouldn't surprise me at all. If they don't get this thing organized and they lose, even anybody else. I mean, pick them. I mean, I don't know who's left. Rory, Scheffler, Spieth. I mean, Spieth, Justin Thomas. Those guys are 20th player in the world. I mean, they're not moving any needle. I mean, Tiger's 48 years old. Golf needs a remake. Golf needs to be rebuilt. And I'm sure it'll be fine. I've said it's going to be fine. I think they'll figure the whole thing out. But I don't understand these pros. Like, these guys seem like they're running the show now. Like, do they really know what they're doing? I mean, I know they think they know what they're doing, but do they really know what they're doing? Boy, I don't know. I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't bet on it. So Rory says they should come back. Spieth says they shouldn't come back. Justin Thomas says they shouldn't come back. They got to figure out something. And they better figure it out fast. That's that we know, because if they don't, LIV will just snatch somebody else, and they'll keep on their merry way. And LIV needs it too, because they gotta make some money. They got to figure out how to make some money, and they're boxed out. And they're boxed out on the television contracts, and they're boxed out on this other stuff. So sponsors. So they need it too. Everybody needs it. Just put it together, get it done, and golf will be better than it's ever been. But it's going to take a little while. And the problem is there is an absence of names in golf. I mean, golf, there's no Tiger Woods. There's no Tiger, Nick Dunlap. Maybe he's going to be Tiger Woods. He won the Farmers Insurance Open as an amateur. And he teed it up at the AT&T Pebble Beach for his second tournament and finished DFL. I'm not saying he's not a great player. Not saying he's not going to be a great player. Maybe he is going to be the next, Phil Mickelson. He ain't going to be next Tiger Woods. There ain't going to be another Tiger Woods. But maybe he's going to be the next Phil Mickelson. But it's going to take people a while to know who he is and to see who he is. And you got to win majors. because that's it. I mean, you can win a PGA Tour event. What's winning a PGA Tour event? I mean, nowadays, just be honest. Come on, be fair. It's so devalued. It's so devalued that it just you can't you can't sell me on this. Stop telling me how hard it is to win on the PGA Tour. Stop telling me about the legacy of winning on the PGA Tour. It's just not there. The legacy is winning, and it's hard to win majors. Maybe not, because if they don't let these guys in there, let all these guys, LIV guys, play in these majors, it's going to be easier than ever to win a major too. It's just a disaster, and they got to fix it. And I think they will. But you know what? Who knows? Who knows? I mean, there's just reports every day. You never know what to believe. I mean, if they don't, and they don't fix it, Katie bar the door. Just forget about it. LIV, they don't want the Saudis to take over. You better make a deal with them, or they will take over. And that is very obvious to I think anybody that looks with an open mind. I mean, you better partner with them, because if you don't, they're going to destroy you. And they're doing a good job of it so far. That you watch that tournament, that LIV tournament down there at Mayakoba, you got John Rahm, you got Joaquin Niemann, you got Sergio Garcia, you got Dustin Johnson. I mean, you can't compare the leaderboards, people. Compare the leaderboards. It's no comparison. Forget about what the corrupt golf media tells you. It's no comparison. People say, I hate LIV. I'll never watch LIV. Well, watch it. And just watch it once. What I mean? So I watched it. I didn't like it. What you see more golf shots. All you see is commercials everywhere on the PGA Tour. You see more golf shots. And you know what you see? You see players you might have heard of. Look at the Phoenix Open. That's a big tournament. What do you got? You got Scheffler. You got Fowler. You got Spieth. You got a Matthew Fitzpatrick. What else you got? Who let me look at my list. Who else you got? You got no one. You got Wyndham Clark. You got Adam Scott. If Adam Scott was playing on LIV, they tell you he was washed up over the hill. That's what they tell you. You go to LIV, you got DeChambeau, you got Mickelson, you got Garcia, you got Rahm, you got a Taylor Gooch, you got a Dustin Johnson, you got a Brooks Koepka. My God, you got a Brooks Koepka. I didn't even name him. Brooks Koepka. I mean, it's not a comparison. It's not a comparison. It is not a comparison. They have taken and the PGA Tour has so many tournaments. Here's their problem. Well, they got a lot of problems, but here's one of their problems. They got so many tournaments that their players don't play everywhere, so they're split up, and as a result, the fields they're terrible anyways, but now they're going to be even worse because players don't play all the tournaments. But LIV, every player on LIV plays the tournaments, so they're there, and you know what their field's going to be? It's going to be the same field it was last time. Maybe they throw in a new individual or something, but this is going to be the same field they had last time. So anyway, that's just the way it is, and I'll tell you what, they got to fix it, and hopefully they will. All right. Hope everybody enjoyed the podcast. Thanks for listening. Hit the follow button if you're on the iHeartRadio, or find me wherever you find your podcast. And make sure you follow nofilter.net. Remember, my podcasts are always sponsored by HaneyUniversity.com. You can go there and find out information about how you can get better at golf. Number one, you can get a golf lesson from me, and my schedule's on there, and you'll be able to track me down, and we'll get you going. You can also register my free instructional videos, and also remember my Voodoo Pain Relief Cream, which is available at voodoopainrelief.com. And that is the absolute best product. If you've got the arthritis pain, you got to try this stuff. voodoopainrelief.com. All right. Hope everybody has a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll talk to you soon on the Hank Haney Podcast.